I'm Martin Shervington, and this is Rehan, and we're going to have a conversation. And I think the conversation may join some dots, and I'm going to be curious about who you are, what you do, and that's it.
Awesome.
So, would you like to say what this is about? Which is, my name is Rehan, I love to make new friends, but then we turn over and there's a story. Would you like to give what the story, the main aspects of it?
Sure. So I started using Facebook since it started, and a few years ago I was very curious of what's happening in Palestine. And I realized that all my life, whenever I would travel, I would not Google about information, but I would like to find people on ICQ or Skype, if you remember ICQ. I would just like to find people, or wherever I'm going, traveling to, I would like to make friends before I go there. I literally have somebody greeting me at the airport.
Yeah.
Because I'm now friends with them, and I get first-hand information about the weather, the hotels, and everything. And I always enjoyed that. I was a very introvert person.
Yeah.
So I was not bold enough to do it in person, but I would easily be able to do it on ICQ or other software. A few years ago, there was a lot of news. I live in Pakistan. I grew up there, and again, I like to get first-hand information. So a few years ago, there was a war between Israel and Palestine again, and I thought, I don't know anybody in Palestine. I would like to know more people in Palestine. So I started to look for them, and I couldn't find them. So what I did was I just took my Facebook ID and I advertised in Palestine and said, hey, my name is Rehan. I would like to have some friends in Palestine. Would you like to be my friend? And I started getting some people to friend me from Palestine, and I found that lots of people cannot speak English. That was an interesting advertisement for Facebook to place in, a personal ad.
Yeah.
But I wasn't like showing to just, females or males. I was just showing to everyone. And I started making friends. And then I talked with them, and I had to use Google Translate to talk to them because most of them would speak Arabic, some of them would speak English. And it was an interesting experience to do that on Facebook.
Yeah.
Then I thought, I'm getting one side of the picture, why don't I do the exact same in Israel? So I started same ad.
Yeah.
Hey, my name is Rehan. I would like to be your friend. I would like to learn more about Israel. Can you be my friend? And I got a few people to like my page on there. And because you could not advertise profile, you could only advertise the page.
Yeah.
I would keep on seeing every day who's liking my page, and I would just go and grab them and try to bring them over to my profile so they can become my friends. So I learned a lot about the culture that way, because I believe that we are a sum of our surroundings. So if I go and live in, for example, where you're from, so I'll start speaking English like you speak. But I speak now English because the way I speak is because I watched a lot of CNN. A lot of people think I went to good school. I never went to college, but so that I use that philosophy, and I started doing that more and more and more and more. And then I started introducing them to each other. So the people from Palestine would talk, initially not talk. So what I do is, on my Facebook wall, I throw a bone where people will start fighting. And they would start fighting because they're either this side or this side, right? They're not neutral side. So they will start fighting, and I start seeing a weird pattern emerging, which was, after like 100 comments or 3 days would pass, I would start seeing them not being so angry anymore at each other.
Right.
And they would actually Google the facts, because the other guy would point, these are the facts. And the other guy would say, no, these are the facts. And then they will eventually find out the real facts. And they will start talking. And I saw that some of them would actually become Facebook friends. That was very crazy thing for me to find out, that they're actually becoming friends.
Yeah.
And I started enjoying it, and I did more, and I did more, and I did more, and I just spent lots of hours on doing this. And I thought, this is interesting. So now but I have, in Facebook, if you realize, most people there's a pattern, in my opinion, on Facebook. initially people would just join, then they would just observe, and slowly they would go like click like, they're like scared to click the like thing, and like they will again 6 months will pass, they will start click sharing, then another 6 months will pass, they will maybe start commenting. So there's a pattern on the usage of Facebook, and I thought, well, it takes like 2 years for developing a Facebook user. Why don't I advertise more? And I started advertising all over the world, wherever I could get any likes. Nigeria, Ethiopia, Eritrea, Rwanda, Madagascar, all those countries, and I discovered there are other countries in Europe which I could get many likes. Like,
I love the fact we've got the planes in the background. It's atmospheric.
Like Albania, for example, and Macedonia. And I ended up hiring people in those countries because I got thousands of people on my Facebook. When I would look, hey, I'm looking for someone, I ended up hiring a person in Macedonia, and which was crazy interesting thing, and I've never met her. So I got now I have 600,000 people on my page, and I have 150,000 on my profile. So I have around 750,000 followers on my Facebook, and this has been going on for at least 2 years, and it's growing and it's growing, and it's I just keep on doing all this stuff, and this is what the story is all about.
So why are you doing it?
Why do I do it? So I found that unless we fix these small problems of Israel and Palestine, the new gods of the world, I call them, like Fox or CNN, who control our brains, right? Whatever news you will hear, you will believe it. But the only way to disseminate that is actually if it happened to you, or if you actually knew what's on the ground. So what I do it is that I try to connect these people, and they will. If you knew 500 people from Syria, there's nowhere on earth you would be sitting here. You would be actually getting somebody from Syria to talk to you, because it's a huge problem right now. 4 million people out of homes is way bigger than one person being killed by ISIS. It's it's sort of like to create world peace. And then, my ultimate mission of life is to end poverty from the world. And you cannot end poverty from the world.
Yeah.
Now, you cannot end that till you fix other problems like peace or education. So it's all interconnected. Everything is interconnected.
Yeah.
So that's why I do it. And there's another woman who started doing it with me in Ohio. She has now 8,000 Pakistani friends. She, of course, speaks Urdu. She cooks Pakistani food at home. She has never been to Pakistan, and she says, I want to migrate to Pakistan because all these people love me so much that if I go there, they will never let me come back. I would stay 1 week in a house, and I have 500 people, so that's the rest of my life. And I asked her, why do you do it? And she told me, one day, one guy messaged me from Pakistan and said, I hate you, I wish I could kill everybody in America. And she sort of got scared, and she went and got a coffee, came back, and then she started talking to the guy. An hour later, the same exact guy says to him, you are my first person I've ever talked to from America. If everybody in America is like you, I don't hate it anymore. So this is why she says I do it. And this is sort of why I do it, because when I go and try to explain things to people, when they understand it, nobody believes it instantly. But if as time will pass, they will say, oh, there's some credibility there. So that's what I do. I enjoy it.
I've got maybe one last question, maybe two.
Sure.
Tell me,
it's about I'm worried about the rest of the world, not myself. I'm enjoying myself.
Tell me about love.
What do you want to know?
What do you want to tell me?
I think love has different meanings to everyone. To some, love is God. To some, love is what they do everything for. For some, it is in a beautiful girl. To some, and it's in their children. To some, in their parents. There are different forms of love, and I think the ultimate form of love is God. And when you have love, it also, to me, it means balance, maybe. When you have love, it means to me, the life's purpose is to reach the balance. If you can reach the balance, you're good. You can die easily. but you have to be neither this side or this side, just balanced. You cannot, without balance, the whole everything is disaligned. So
it's
love
more,
helps you get the balance, maybe?
Yeah. And perspectives is what you're really doing. You're allowing people to see the other perspective.
Yeah. And once you do that, you cannot be enemies anymore, because you actually know why.
Yeah.
Even, for example, I talk to people, couples who are getting divorced, but they don't hate each other because they understand what's going through their mind.
Yeah.
So they don't hate each other. Then some of the divorces you will see and all that.
Yeah.
Why is that? Because they don't understand why is the other person doing it. Because they don't talk.
Yeah.
If we could, I had created instituteofpeace.org.
So say it's at the instituteofpeace.org.
And the ultimate goal of that is to allow any two people to be able to find peace among themselves.
Yeah.
Because no matter if you're a president or a normal person, if you don't have peace internally, if you will drive that internal non-peace to the external world. Because unless you have peace inside, you cannot have peace outside.
What did you do before?
Like what? I did 51 different ventures in my life. Started from selling candies to Commodore 64 games to...
Do you know, I've got to say this. I had a VIC-20, worst computer in my life. I regretted that. I wish I bought the Commodore 64. Anyway.
Well, they didn't have one when the VIC-20 came out. Then the next version was Commodore 64. And then I made Commodore 64 accessories like modems and all.
Yeah.
Started a BBS service, started an ISP service. Then went into VoIP. VoIP came out, became net-to-phone beta tester, free world dial-up. Started a phone business in the US, grew it. Now it runs on its own, pretty much. And I do all the other crazy stuff.
I think this is for people watching, because there's something that was suggested on here. Can I read?
Yes.
So, made my money from the telecom industry, started a foundation to teach entrepreneurship to 1 million people, a school to teach 1 billion people basic literacy, all leading towards my ultimate mission of ending poverty from the world. And you're doing it.
I do what I can. I can't do everything. I do what I can.
Rehan, that's been awesome. Thank you.
Thank you for taking the time.
Yeah, no, thank you. Really.